Hi YouTube, it's me TFR Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second Korean toy review of this month, the month of February 2022. Now, I had planned to buy 3 Korean toys this month, but unfortunately I had a bit of a disaster trying to buy my figures out of Gmarket this month. One of the figures got cancelled by the seller, not once but twice. He was claiming it was out of stock, even though I had notification. Well, from what I saw, it was in stock, but anyway, it cost me money on the international shipping of the remaining items that I got, and yeah, the whole sordid saga, I will go into it in full detail in my end of month bot haul in a couple of days' time. So with that said, let's get on to the review of this figure. Right, so again, I'm continuing to buy the figures from the Hello Carbot Samba toy line, which is season 11 of the show. The reason being, I want to complete the Hello Carbot Samba toy line before the new toy line comes in April, which is what KR Brickbot has said in his video, that there is a plan to bring a new toy line in April, because Hello Carbot, they have like a ridiculous turnaround on their toy lines. You know, you get 2 new toy lines every year, and every 6 months they come up with something new, and new season of the show, new load of toys, blah blah blah, and it's such a massive, rapid turnaround of their toy lines. It's next thing you know, the old stuff's gone out, the new stuff's come in. It's that stuff. So I wanted to get all the Hello Carbot, season 11, Samba toy line in, because I kind of like it, because the Samba toy line's got this swap and change gimmick with the Samba beasts, and it's really cool, and I wanted to go all in on it. So this is the next figure. Well, he's one of the, what I refer to as the wave 3 sort of figures. They released him in waves of 2. You had in wave 1, you had these guys. You had Just Force and Red Wyler. In wave 2, you had Nighthopper and Max Dozer, the figure that I'm having trouble trying to get out of Korea. And then the final wave 3, got Sandbuster, and the subject of today's review, Rockan. So yes, this is Rockan in his alt mode. Before we get into that, let's have a quick look at the packaging, as I usually do. There's the box, again, usual tall thin box. Got pictures of robot mode, alt mode, Chatan. Got his name down the bottom here. Also got the name in English at the top. See, Rockan. Stuff on the top, stuff on the side, stuff on the other side. Product information on the back that's only of interest if you're KR Brickbot. And then you get this thing on the back of all these Samba boxes, where they show you the mix and match nature of the Samba gimmick. Now, each of the boxes has this. I think there's slight differences between the boxes. When I get all 6 boxes, I'll be able to do a comparison to see if any of them are the same, or if they're all slightly different. But anyway, so that's the box. You get instructions. You get the little chip that goes into the activator watch that Chatan wears in the show. You plug it in, it makes lights and sounds, plays music, all the yada yada yada. Right, so Rockan. Here's his alt mode. It's a big blue van or bus, but I like to think of it as a van. It's like a futuristic looking van. It's got this very sort of double sloped front end, quite small wheels. I like to think it's a camper van, because it's got this blue section at the back here, which kind of looks like windows, which means this could be like a camper van type thing, and you've got these bits on top, which could be like air conditioning units or something. Nice big black windscreen, no moulded wipers on it, no wing mirrors, so it's a bit weird, and maybe it's got like no cameras that look around it. Given the futuristic look of this vehicle, it could well be an electric vehicle, though in the show I'm sure it's, when he drives around, it makes that brrr, makes that brum noise, like he's got an engine. But it's got these silver lights. It's got the Carbot logo there. It has got a grille, but it's not painted. Round the back, there's not much paint. You've got painted for the lights. Kind of looks like a bus at the back, but I don't know. I like to think of this as a futuristic sort of van. and it's rather unusual look, and a lot of blue plastic on display here. There's a lot of blue plastic, and obviously it's got the you know, the warning lights, you know, siren section on the top, but it doesn't seem like an emergency vehicle to me. So why do you need that to stick up? Underneath you've got the usual sort of robot bits all scrunched up. He does have weapon storage. You've got this weapon underneath there. It's very heavy. It plugs together very firmly. Pinned wheels, so it rolls extremely well. It's a big chunky blue van. He's a Samba figure, so you have the Samba gimmick where the top of the vehicle comes off to form the Samba beast. Now, unlike some of the other Samba vehicles, this one's unusual. Most of the other Samba vehicles, like Nighthopper, the first one I reviewed, when you take the Samba beast off, you end up with this. You get like a cab and a flatbed. So that happens to her. And then you've got Red Wyler, where same thing happens. Take it off, you've got a cab and a flatbed. This guy, you still end up with a bit of a cab and a flatbed. So you're seeing a theme here. But Rockan, when you pull his Samba beast off, you end up with this. The cab forms part of the Samba beast meat, so you end up with this weird looking trailer, I suppose. Now, obviously, being a Samba thing, the Samba chunks do work. So then you've got that, and then you've got the ambulance. Again, doesn't really do much. You've got because he works back to front to the other Samba vehicles. It's weird, you know. The Samba chunks don't really work on his alt mode. The only other one I haven't done is Just Force. Come on. Yeah, and Just Force's sort of vehicle mode is that. And then I suppose you could put that on there. And yeah, that looks super weird, doesn't it? So yeah, the Samba chunk on this guy, it does, because he's arranged back to front to all the others, i.e. the front of the vehicle's here, the back of the vehicle's here, and the leftover bit of vehicle when you take the Samba chunk off is the back of the vehicle rather than the front. It doesn't really work with the other Samba chunks, even though they are interchangeable. So, of course, Thingy's Samba chunk does work with the others, but you know, it's got the same thing. You know, because it's the wrong way round, it does work, but you know, you've got like a cab at both ends, which is kind of weird. You know, it doesn't really work with the other vehicles, so that's unusual. It's a pity that you know, he's designed that way, but you know, such is the nature of the beast. This is why, you know, Samba figures are what they are, the way the Samba gimmick works. But this guy, like I said, he is arranged slightly differently to the other vehicles, so he isn't quite so cross-compatible with them. So we'll take his Samba beast off, and then we'll get into the robot mode. So I've got loads of chunks here in my lap that I'll just move out of the way. Right, so again, transformation on this thing's very simple, very basic. It's just a robot folded up at the end of the day. So pull them side bits out. The legs, you take these these pieces off that were on top of the vehicle mode and put them to one side for a moment. Then fold this down, and there's two pegs there which go into ports under there, so that plugs in like so. Then you've got the flip out the feet. Then you've got these panels which just fold down on double hinges and then plug into the sides of the legs like so. Split the legs. That's the legs done. You can remove the weapon storage, and then shoulders. Bring the shoulders down, and you're done. And there is Rockan in his base robot mode. Again, as with all the other sort of Hello Carbot Samba figures, he's got that unusual proportion. He's got, because of the way the alt mode is formed from like 2/3 of the vehicle mode. He's got like obvious, he's very sort of short and stumpy and very sort of chunky. He's got like massive chunky shins. He's got sort of very thin arms, this guy, but that's not too bad. He's got like big butch chunky shoulders, and yeah, so he's got that unusual sort of aesthetic that the other Hello Carbot Samba figures have got. Now let me just transform the other figures into their robot modes for comparison. Just give me a moment. Right, so do a quick comparison between Rockan and the other sort of Hello Carbot Samba robots. So there he is next to Just Force. There he is next to Red Weiler. There he is next to Night Hopper. And there he is next to Sandbuster. So, they all have the same sort of size, similar sort of proportions, blocky limbs, apart from maybe Night Hopper. She's got a little bit more going on, I think, than the others. I mean, Night Hopper, for instance, she's got bicep swivels, and none of the others have. So yeah, that's due to the nature of her transformation. But yeah, so this guy. Now, the subject of my last review was this guy, was Just Force, and to be honest, he's got a few issues that I wasn't too happy about. I mean, I don't like he's got these stupid, flappy wheel feet and these massive heel spurs, which make his legs look unusual. He's also got the same problem as this guy, a Sandbuster. He's got all this kibble in between his legs, which means he can't stand bolt upright. He's always going to have a permanent A stance because he's got that kibble between his legs. This guy's got the same issue. So yeah, there were things about this guy I wasn't that impressed with. This guy, however, even though he's got like this massive chunk down here and somewhat skinny arms, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, there's a lot of blue going on in his robot mode. I mean, there's so much blue in his alt mode, and then a lot of it transfers over rather to his robot mode, because you've got all that light blue everywhere, with the sort of the darker blue on the limbs, some bits of silver, and obviously the orange around his sort of chest and shoulder area, which breaks things up a little bit, and a few bits of silver. One thing I will say about this guy, he's got working light piping. None of the other, even though the other figures do have light piping chunks in their head, they don't actually work properly. Whereas this guy, I mean, I haven't got an LED light, to show it. But trust me, this guy, the light piping works on this guy a treat. Whereas the others, like Night Hopper, she's got a light piping chunk in the top of her head, but it doesn't work very well passively. And the others have got, he's got light piping bits in the top of his head, but they don't really, the light doesn't pass through into the eyes very well. Whereas this guy, he actually has working light piping, and working light piping on Korean toys is very rare. Some of them do have it, but it's very rare, and this guy is the only guy out of the current Samba toys that I've got that has got properly working light piping, which is good. He what else can we say about him? As regards to the legs, you can fold these chunks up like so, and that sort of gives him slightly thinner legs, kind of like the way on Night Hopper, where the van chunks are on these hinges on her thighs, which fold down, you know, to give her a different looking leg look. They're a bit unusual. I mean, they're kind of awkward, the fact that they're just hinged off her thighs. So, you know, when you're moving the leg, it goes with them, and yeah, it's an unusual design aesthetic that they use there. I mean, this guy, they just fold down onto his shins, but you know, you can fold them up, and then it does, you know, give him some slightly better looking legs, but it does cause, you know, issues with the articulation when you do that. So it's best to just fold them down where they're supposed to be. Speaking of articulation, head rotation goes all the way around. Shoulders, you got that. Got a loud ratchet, goes all the way around. No bicep swivel. Ratcheted elbow goes to 90 degrees. Now in my review of this guy, I forgot to mention that he has got, you know, quite a deep knee bend, and he has got, you know, thigh swivels. I don't know what was I going on. I was going on about the kibble between the legs, and I also was going on about the stupid, you know, sort of heels and toe design on it, and I got a bit preoccupied with that and forgot to mention about the rest of the leg articulation. I sometimes do that. I sometimes, you know, miss bits out, but obviously this guy, you know, that goes, you know, elbows, nothing at the waist, hips forwards, backwards, out to the side, you know, full Van Damme. Has got thigh swivels and a solid 90-degree bend. Nothing at the feet. So fairly typical articulation on this bot. You know, all the usual bases covered, and that's the bot mode. Right. So then we get to the Samba chunk. So now the Samba bot, or the Samba animal on this guy, is called Aquarino. He turns into a rhinoceros, and his alt mode, obviously he pulls off the main cabin section of the vehicle mode, and it's got like the front of the cabin there, and I like to think that kind of looks like a futuristic sort of like a hover car or a hover truck or a hover van, you know, like a hover vehicle, you know. It just does. It just, you know, it's got those nice smooth curvy lines of a modern, you know, sort of, you know, futuristic, you know, sort of floaty vehicle, you know. Obviously you got the thing there. Now, transforming this guy into his beast mode is quite simple. You fold the sides out. Again, they do plug in exceedingly well. So you fold them out like that. You then double fold those round. And then you fold these things out. And you bring the legs round. And then flip around the horn, and then finally it's got a little tail that comes out the back, and there we have Aquarino in his animal mode. Now he's very chunky, but then again he's supposed to be a rhino. It's got a nice horn. It's got like a flat top. You know, like a buzz cut, you know, like a flat top, you know, that's pretty cool. Articulation on this thing, a little bit of posability on the tail. The legs are on a double hinge, but they just sort of fold backwards and forwards. The back legs just fold forwards a little bit. So you can't really get much in the way of posability on this thing, but at least, like, unlike Longo, who turns into an elephant, which is a similar African animal, Longo hasn't got any legs. He's just got these stupid panels that fold down, whereas this guy has got proper legs. So Aquarino, he's pretty chunky. He's pretty big for a Samba animal. You compare him to some of the others. He's pretty large. I really don't want to convert them all into Samba animal for comparison. I might do I don't know, when I get all the figures together, I might just do a big old overview of the whole line. Maybe, I don't know. I'm toying with the idea of doing that maybe. Just, showing them all off. But anyway, such is his want. Now, obviously you've got these accessories. You've got the little bits that plug into the top of the van. They fold out to form guns. And they will plug into Aquarino's sides, so that he's got these he's got these guns he can run along and shoot things. So yeah, you can do that with Aquarino. Now, obviously, then we get down to the Samba gimmick thing. So to transform this guy back into Samba mode, you basically fold the legs back in, and then you fold the panels out like that. And now he's ready for Samba mode. So you plug him on, and then you fold down the rhino head, and then do that, and there is Rockan in his Samba mode. So, like I said, Aquarino plugs onto the back, the rhino head comes down over the top of his head like a hat, and there you have it. So, yeah, obviously he looks a lot bigger. No, actually, no, they go down to the side, don't they? They don't stick up like that. That's right, that's got it. Yeah, so, yeah, there we go. There's Aquarino in his Samba mode, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Obviously bulks him up a little bit. You've got all this space in here, and the sort of like the little wing things hanging down, and he's got his thingy that goes there. Yeah, I don't know what power he gives him. I think the fact that his name is Aquarino, I think he has like, he can shoot off. I think, has he got ice powers? I'm not sure. And he can definitely, I'm sure he can shoot, sort of, water jets and things like that, to put out fires and such, or splash bad guys, with high pressure water jets. I don't know. I haven't really watched much of the show. I watch the odd bits now and again, but it's getting difficult now to watch the full episodes, because Hello Carbot, they seem to be putting up these highlight episodes where they do a highlight reel of the upcoming episodes, and they don't actually show the full episodes. And yeah, it's been difficult to figure out what's going on. But anyway, so again, he's pretty heavy with his Samba stuff on. It does restrict his articulation a little bit, especially on the arms, because like it folds them pieces back when he does that. Yeah, it's a thing. But obviously, being a Samba beast or a Samba figure, you've got the Samba gimmick. Of course, now I've got to transform these. So then we've got plugged on M-View Bird to give him Nighthopper's Samba powers, so you can do that. Then you've got Sambuster's Y-Lion Samba powers. You can plug them on. Then you've got Longo with Red Wiler's Samba powers. You can plug on there. And finally, and you've got Zenata and Just Force's Samba animal can plug onto the back and give him his powers. So yeah, the gimmick where you can swap and change the Samba beasts from figure to figure is pretty cool, and it's part of the reason why I sort of went all in with this this toy line, because I kind of like the gimmick. It's pretty cool, even though it does have its issues and compromises, to make it work. It's a pretty fun play system overall, and I quite enjoy it. I quite like it. So yeah, what do I make of this figure? He's all right. He's okay. He's slightly better than Just Force that I reviewed last time. Got a lot of blue going on, even though he does have the the darker blue, the orange, and the silver highlights. I was a bit on the fence about getting this guy to begin with, because there were some things about him I didn't like the look of, but actually in hand he's actually a little better than I thought he was going to be. So I quite like him. He's okay. So with that said, that's been my review of this guy. Hello Carbot Samba Rockan. He's one of the last sort of Samba figures to come out as part of the Samba toy line. Obviously I've still got Max Dozer to go. Like I said, I had a bit of a problem trying to get one out of G-Market this month. I haven't got one yet. I'm going to have to try and get it again next month, though. It's going to cost me a small fortune, because that figure is scalper bait. The price of it's gone through the roof. There was people asking twice the recommended retail price for that figure than any of the other Samba figures. And also there's the combiner. There's King Guider, made up of Hot Guider and Cool Guider. And that is a horrendous parts former. But I said I was going to get all the toys in the line, so yeah, I've got to, probably in April I will be throwing down on King Guider. But for now, that's it. That's all I've got for this month. Like I said, I would have preferred to have done 3 Korean toy reviews this month, but because of the Korean New Moon New Year celebrations, I delayed my Korean purchases by a week, and then I had all that grief trying to get 3 figures out of G-Market, but only managed to get 2. So yeah, it was all that. So that's everything for this month. This video's gone on long enough. I've been TFL Wilderness. I will catch you all next time. Ta-da.